I think they're ready now. Edinburgh University keeping us waiting, but we're good to go now. Prince Albert Student Open Fours. Newcastle University, Edinburgh University.
Yeah, Newcastle out to a really quick start there. I really like the acceleration that they're getting out of the boat right now as they just strike down the course right there. It's a great shot. You can see their stroke bend at Brockway.
We've already seen the first of the semi-finals in this one. We saw University of London beat University of Bristol, so it's a right to face London tomorrow. Either Newcastle or Edinburgh will join them in the final, and you'd be brave to pin your hopes to either boat at this stage. It really is very tight as they head into the race.
And that's what you want. You know, I look at match racing as really there's a real psychological component to it. When there are 6 boats across, you're like, oh, maybe you're in the semifinals. It just have to be one of the top 3. But right here, there is no other boat. You have to do something to gain the momentum and then keep it.
And it's interesting how you can affect the other boat a bit more here. So if you're in a 6-lane race, as we saw in Lucerne last weekend, international rowing, there's not much you can do about a boat. If you're sitting in lane 2 and lane 5 or 6, you can't in any way really interfere with what they're up to. In head-to-head racing like this, you can get in the opposition's mind a little bit, can't you? It's a bit more gamesmanship, a bit more tactical perhaps. You can have a bit more of an impact on the other boat.
Yeah, and you know, the way that you do that is, you know, you have the coxswain making calls. You know, you get excitement, maybe a roar or something like that. And what you're trying to do is get into the place where you feel confident that you're going to continue to perform.
Yeah, when you say the coxswain making calls, you mean to their own athletes rather than across the water.
Yeah, well, that would be a bit of, I believe, you call it poor form from the coxswain.
Really poor form, yeah.
But what you want to do is you want to, as a coxswain in these races, you really want to get your crew excited. You want them to believe that they can do it. And so right now it looks as though Edinburgh is really working hard, and they've managed to move out quite well now.
Moving very nicely. Sorry, you've got to spill the beans here, Kilt. So in your long time associated with it, have you ever known a situation where one boat has shouted verbals across the water to the other boat? Has that ever happened? Come on, be honest.
I've seen it.
Okay, that's quite
personally,
rare.
I would tell jokes, and no one really liked that.
Okay, so just irritating jokes to try and distract the opposition boat. Lovely stuff.
And right now you can see Edinburgh really moving well right now. You can see all of the athletes. You have Alexander Dixon, Joshua Matthews, Murray Bone, Henry Blackwell, and coxswain Patrick Moody.
Ben Brockway is the stroke in the Newcastle University boat. And here coming into the blades there, the work in the Newcastle boat, you can see. What do you think, Akil? Pretty neat, isn't it?
I just love that sound. You hear that? Oh man, that's what you want to hear right there. That's what you want to see. You can see the right there on the Cox box. You can see they're rowing it at 36, 37. Right now, that was such a great shot. That's like right inside the boat.
All the data on that little screen that you could see in the Newcastle University boat. So great stuff. That's the information they have. What does the cox do with all that information, Akil?
Well, you know, the coxswain knows his crew. He knows what they've been racing at all year, whether we're too high right now, whether they're what type of speed that they're capable of. So right now, we're going to have to see from Newcastle that coxswain's going to take all of the knowledge that he's gained from racing with this crew all year and come up with a way of motivating them to just pull back a little bit and keep moving.
Patrick Moody in this Edinburgh University boat, nearest to the camera, leading at this stage with Harry Blackwell, Murray Bone, Joshua Matthews and Alexander Dixon in the bow seat. Nearest to the right-hand side of the screen. Position of the coxes like a Formula One driver, aren't they? Squatted down low to the surface. Everything zipping by. It's quite a dramatic spot to sit.
Yeah. So right now you can see that was a great shot of the Edinburgh boat. Their stroke, Henry Blackwell. You could see him calling out something like that.
So only a marginal lead from Edinburgh University.
Yeah, and you know, some people wonder why the coxswain is in the stern, in the 8, and in the bow in the 4s. But right now,
yeah, going from Ben Brockway in the stroke seat there that you saw for Newcastle University across to the stroke Henry Blackwell for Edinburgh University. That's the margin at the moment. And through Henry Blackwell, Murray Bone, Joshua Matthews, and then Alexander Dixon, the Cox, Patrick Moody squatted there.
Yeah, right.
Lying, really. Look at that. That looks fabulous. That's the most chilled job at Henley, isn't it?
Well, it looks like it, but those, depending on his size, you know, it might be a little bit crouched. But right now, you can see this is a better place for the coxswain to be in terms of the weight distribution. But you know, you can also have your head hitting up right against that bow, the bow seat there.
You're very reliant, aren't you, on the stroke Henry Blackwell telling you what's going on behind? Because if you're in that lead boat, there's no way the Cox, Patrick Moody, can see Newcastle University boat at all. So you're very reliant on the communication.
Yeah, and which is interesting because, you know, when you have a coxswain, you're usually relying on them to tell you exactly what's going on. But right here, you know, the coxswain is at a bit of a disadvantage because he can't see what's on what's behind him.
Whereas Edward Peacock can definitely see because he's in the trailing boat. Newcastle University's boat trailing in this race, and they are putting on a spurt here in front of stewards, trying to close up the gap a bit, and they have done that. Too little, too late, you suspect. Edinburgh University with a response, but definitely Newcastle University have closed, narrowed the gap, trying to get past them. I think it's going to be too late for them, but they've definitely made this a very competitive finish. Keep an eye on Newcastle University right to the end here on the Berkshire station to the left of your picture. It's going to be tight by the time they get to the end. Edinburgh University nursing the boat over the line, but it was a quarter of a length in the end. It looked like it would be a lot more comfortable than that. What a bit of power surge from Newcastle University to make it competitive. That was a fantastic finish from them.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. One of my favorite parts right now is cheering for the other crews after the races. I love how that's done here.
I wonder if Newcastle will rue the fact the race was a bit longer, because I reckon if they are racing to the bridge just behind us, they might have overturned Edinburgh University, but they're through. Edinburgh, the Prince Albert Challenge Cup final tomorrow.